Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, 2 men were arrested after Lexington police say one of them fired shots at a man on a sidewalk. We'll show you who those men are just ahead this morning.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin plans to make an important announcement this morning. More on what that could be coming up.
Also this morning, 2 people seriously injured after a school bus hit their car. What we know about their conditions. Ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Rebecca Smith. The good news is it is almost the weekend.
Right, it is Friday for sure, and we are glad you're along. I'm Bill Bryant. We have a lot of news to get to you this morning, but we're also going to enjoy a nice change in the temperature-humidity ratio out there.
We love to hear that, Micah.
Yeah, it was lower 90s yesterday. I mean, we were very steamy. Not only that, but like Bill was talking about, that humidity was way up, and now we're going to drop that as we travel off toward today. Really this afternoon off into your weekend, you'll really start to feel that humidity drop because that coolest, driest air is not here just yet. The thunderstorms that we had far southern Kentucky, they're long gone. So now we're just looking at a wraparound chance at some moisture later on today. I'll explain that. Temperatures are in the 60s this morning, and by the afternoon, lower 80s. It's about a 10-degree swing from what we had yesterday. We'll talk about that and your weekend forecast. It's looking good. It's coming up.
Hey, we look forward to that, and we thank you. And new this morning, we have the names of the men arrested after shots were fired in a Lexington neighborhood.
Police tell us that the 2 men were in a car. One of the men shot at the man on the sidewalk. WKYT's Mike Byer joins us live. He is going to join us live. We're just hearing in our ear that we do not have him, but we are going to try to get him. Now, we know...
We'll show you what did go on here.
Yeah. Some things.
The names now, the 2 men have been who have been arrested by the Lexington Police Department. We're going to go take that video. We'll show you what happened.
And we do have Mike.
Oh, now we have him. Let's go to Mike for the details.
Hey guys, sorry, technology these days, right? Well, we now know the names of the 2 men who Lexington police arrested last night, who they say were responsible for some shots fired in a Lexington neighborhood last night. The names of those people are 19-year-old Xavier Johnson and 18-year-old Trevontae Lillard. They say they're the ones responsible. Police tell us it all started when Lillard fired shots at a man on a sidewalk last night on Judy Lane near Paris Pike. An off-duty police officer who lives nearby heard what happened, saw the suspects, and began chasing them. Other officers quickly joined in. 2 miles away on Augusta Drive, police say they stopped the suspects and arrested them. Police charged Johnson, the driver, with fleeing and evading, and Lillard, the passenger, with wanton endangerment. Now, the good news, besides the 2 men being arrested, is that no one was hurt in all this, so that is the good news to take away. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Glad we got his shot. Well, witnesses say they did what they could to help, but police say 2 people suffered serious injuries when a school bus hit their car at a Franklin County intersection. That crash happened yesterday afternoon along US 127 in Frankfort. Officer Don shot some video for us from Sky First. You can see that the large school bus there. Charles Cook and his co-workers at the new Napa store grabbed their tools and equipment and did what they could to get people out of the car.
I ran back over this way and grabbed a crowbar and hopped on top of it and just try to pry the door open for them so they can get to them.
The sheriff says the driver of the car was airlifted to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The car's passenger had serious injuries. About 50 students from Breathitt County were on the bus. The sheriff says they were all okay. The road reopened about 7 o'clock. Investigators still trying to figure out exactly what led to the crash. The Mercer County coroners identified a man who was killed in a crash near Harrodsburg. They say that the victim is 59-year-old Scotty Alcorn of Taylorsville. Investigators say Alcorn's car was headed north on US 127 yesterday when an SUV heading southbound crossed into his path. Alcorn tried to avoid that SUV but was hit by a semi-truck. Alcorn was killed on impact. The driver of the semi was not injured. 3 people in the SUV were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Now 5:04 here on WKYT this morning. A Kentucky State University football player is remembered as a kind man with a big heart. Police say 24-year-old Josh Williams was shot and killed earlier this week in his hometown of Inglewood, California. Williams began his college football career playing at Oregon State University before transferring to KSU. He then played at KSU for the Thoroughbreds for 2 seasons and was expected to return this fall for his final year. During his time at KSU as a Thoroughbred, Williams recorded 48 tackles, 3 sacks, and an interception.
Kentucky State University is going to miss him. Oregon State's going to miss him. But the game of football is going to miss him.
Police in California have not made any arrests in the case. Well, the Kentucky governor, Matt Bevin, expected to make what he's calling an important announcement later today. Michelle Chamberlain is at our live desk now with details on that. Michelle.
Yeah, Bill, we know that the governor is expected to make what you just said, an important announcement today. We know that announcement, but we don't know what he's going to be talking about. The last time the governor made an announcement, he said his administration uncovered possible illegal activity by the previous administration. That included federal charges against former state employee Tom Longmire. The Bevin administration has given no indication as to what today's announcement will be about. Now, we do know that it will take place at 10 o'clock this morning at the state capitol. Be sure to follow WKYT on Twitter to be the first to know what the governor has to say.
All right, thank you. And of course, that will also come during our mid-morning newscast at 10, so we're passing along what we find out. This morning, new cell phone video gives us a glimpse of the terrifying moments and chaos inside the Pulse nightclub when a gunman went on a shooting rampage.
And we do have to warn you about this video. Some of you may find it to be pretty disturbing. The whole situation really is. Marley Hall has the latest on the investigation from Orlando.
This grainy cell phone video showed more than a dozen people packed into a bathroom stall as Omar Mateen went on a deadly shooting spree inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. Miguel Leyva was shot multiple times.
We just tried to keep everybody as calm as possible and keep him quiet so he wouldn't come back in there and shoot at us.
Sources tell CBS News Mateen checked social media for trending topics like Pulse Orlando and shooting in the middle of his killing spree. Investigators say he also exchanged an I love you text with his wife, Noor Salman.
She's been cooperating with police, but officials suspect she knew about the plot and will likely face charges.
President Obama and Vice President Joe Biden visited a growing memorial in Orlando Thursday. They left 49 white roses to honor the dead.
We will not be able to stop every tragedy. We can't wipe away hatred and evil from every heart in this world. But we can stop some tragedies. We can save some lives.
Nearly 24 victims are still hospitalized. One of them is Angel Colon, who was shot 6 times and was one of the last people to get out.
My name is Officer Omar Delgado. I'm one of the ones that helped you get out of harm's way, man.
Thursday, he met his hero, Omar Delgado, the officer who risked his life and pulled him to safety.
I just saw him, his size, his glasses, so I'm like, just help me, please.
Marley Hall, CBS News, Orlando.
Just really dramatic video there. Well, investigators are also looking at all possible financial support Mateen may have received from family members, including his own father. Well, we have some new information about an alligator attack near a Disney resort in Florida that killed a toddler. The medical examiner's office in Orlando says an autopsy found 2-year-old Lane Graves died from drowning and traumatic injuries. Investigators say Lane was wading in shallow water near the Grand Floridian Resort Tuesday night when a gator grabbed him and dragged him into the lagoon. Lane and his family were on vacation from Nebraska. CNN is reporting that Walt Disney World plans to put up alligator warning signs about the waterways in its parks and resorts. The park already had up no swimming signs, but of course no gator warnings were included in that.
It's a tough situation. The Urban County Council in Lexington has given final approval to a $345 million budget for the city. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, that budget includes money to hire 20 new police officers and more than $5 million for a new fire station in the Masterson Station area. The budget also includes $7 million for a youth sports complex, along with money to upgrade city pools and a 3.5% raise for city employees. And Mayor Gray says he does not plan to veto any items in the budget. Kentucky State University's Board of Regents is planning to have a special meeting this morning. They say the purpose of the morning meeting is to review and approve KSU's budget. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report KSU was exempt from Governor Matt Bevin's proposed budget cuts earlier this year because of their already precarious financial situation. And of course, they do have the new interim president who is in charge, Aaron Thompson, over there. So we'll see how all that goes under his leadership. Our time this morning is coming up on 5:10, and WKYT this morning is just getting started.
A World War II vet got a very special present for his 100th birthday. That story coming back on WKYT.
We're in the 60s early this morning. A really nice feeling day in store, and that takes you off into your weekend too, but we still have a rain chance. I'm going to show you when you can expect that coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
The temperatures this morning and the feel this morning won't really tell you that a cold front has moved on through, but we're going to get into your afternoon and you'll start to feel that difference. The cooler air actually drives in through your day. So afternoon, we're about 10 degrees less than where we were yesterday. Yesterday finishing off in the low 90s, some mid 90s too. Heat indices were right there around 100 degrees yesterday. Did not feel good. A 66 right now in Jackson, and that goes for Frankfort. Mid 60s elsewhere. Some upper 60s, but nonetheless, we'll finish off in the mid 60s once it's all said and done. And by the afternoon, we're at 82 degrees. And believe it or not, some of us, northeastern Kentucky, you get into Lewis County, Greenup County, Mason, maybe even Moorhead, we could be seeing a 78, 79 degree reading later on this afternoon with the cloud cover and even a small chance of rain. We can't rule that out. Anywhere from 2 p.m. to about 8 p.m. That's the best bet. But even if you have plans, keep this in mind. Take off, do them, because this is not heavy rain. This is not a lot of rain, and it is actually a much better likelihood that you actually stay dry than say you actually get wet. So let's talk about your rain chances, where I expect these. There's about a 40% chance in eastern Kentucky. It's going to be bits and pieces with some wraparound moisture. Wraparound moisture rarely gives you a lot of rain, and I don't expect it for today. So once you get the rain over you, it's not going to be like what you saw and felt yesterday in far southern Kentucky with some of those thunderstorms. It's just going to be a couple light showers. There is that possibility of thunderstorm, but for the most part, just a couple light showers. Now, the farther you get back toward the west, the better likelihood of it falling apart. Lexington, Richmond, go down in the London, Corbin area, we're talking about 20% chance of rain, and then we head off towards your weekend. So today's not a great chance, in the weekends, there's no chance. 80s in the forecast, but it's a much better feel because humidity is going to be way down. So for all these challenges, you got the Kentucky Challenge going on, and that's a cycling event. That's there in Georgetown. All these cycling events, everything that you have going on there outside this weekend is perfect for it. 84, 87. Those are deceiving because I told you it's going to be lower humidity. That helps.
Starting those Lakeside Live events out at Lexington Green.
Right.
It'll be Friday and Saturday nights. The Lauren Meek Band will
there
be
you
among
go.
those.
Yeah, from Winchester.
Yeah, she'll be playing over there tonight, and another group called Point 7. So there you go.
Okay.
Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You will keep us informed on all things music. World War II veteran from Arkansas got a special gift for his 100th birthday.
His family took him to the airport for a big surprise.
I thought maybe I would parachute jump or something like that.
Always joking, the 100-year-old vet got his own private air show for his birthday. His wife Irene says he loves to fly and talks about airplanes all the time, so it seemed like the perfect gift. And Richter's love of flying began at a very young age. He took flying lessons as a kid without telling his parents, and he got his first license when he was just 14. So what about that?
Oh, yeah.
Then gets his own show.
100-year-old. Congrats to him.
Absolutely. Hey, it's good to have you along with us on this Friday morning on WKYT with that weekend rolling our way.
Yeah, that's good news. And we got to look at your money. Stick around.
Why, if you're hankering for a taste of Cuban culture, you may not even need to leave your home. I'm Karina Mitchell with that story and more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Welcome back in. It's WKYT this morning here on your Friday, 5/19 right now. Philly adds a soda tax. The Supreme Court comes down on the Department of Veterans Affairs.
And Dish Network is bringing Cuban TV to America. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
Philadelphia has become the first major city in the nation to have a soda tax. The city council approved a 1.5 cent per ounce levy on sugary and diet drinks. Berkeley, California is the only other city with such a tax. The soda industry is expected to sue. Despite a continued slide in oil prices, Wall Street managed to erase losses Thursday, ending the day up. The Dow added 92 points while the Nasdaq gained 9. The Supreme Court says the Department of Veterans Affairs failed to follow a law increasing the number of contracts awarded to small businesses owned by disabled veterans. The court ruled unanimously that Kingdomware Technologies, Inc., a veteran-owned business, should have been considered as a potential provider for a VA medical center. And in another sign of improving relations between Cuba and the U.S., Dish Network is partnering with Sling TV to launch a new channel delivering Cuban movies and TV shows right to your living room. The companies say Cuba Max TV will be the first in the U.S. to showcase programs and music videos by Cuban artists. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
Well, the company Smith & Wesson says it is selling more guns than ever before.
The gun maker says quarterly firearm sales rose more than 22% from the same period last year. That's better than the company predicted. The company's stock jumped 7% in extended trading hours last night. Smith & Wesson says it expects robust sales to continue for the rest of the fiscal year. The report was based on sales through April 30th, more than a month before Sunday's mass shootings in Orlando. Historically, gun manufacturers see demand in the rise in the wake of such violence as pro-gun consumers fear new laws will restrict access.
5:21 now on WKYT this morning, and a lot more news is coming up for you as you get set to go.
And we've got a report on sports up next.
On the way next, we talk football and baseball as UK loses 2 commitments, 1 in each sport. I've got the details coming up next.
Looking at Defender Radar Network outside, and really nothing going on early this morning. We have pushed those storms that we had in far southern Kentucky yesterday. We've pushed them on out, so things are looking just fine. Temperatures are there in the 60s. You're not feeling that difference of the temperatures just yet. We get into your afternoon, and that's when the drier air, the milder air slides on in here. So that's when you start to feel that difference at 82 degrees. Most of the rain chances today, which is still, remember, very small, but most of it's going to be in eastern Kentucky at 82 degrees. All right, let's check out sports, see what's going on.
It has been a pretty tough stretch recently for UK football. Another commitment has decided to back off the Wildcats. Russ Yeast is decommitting from Kentucky. Yeast is a 3-star athlete in the class of 2017 and is the son of former UK football great Craig Yeast. Yeast's announcement comes only a couple of weeks after Mac Jones announced he was flipping his commitment to Alabama. Yeast is now the 6th recruit to decommit from the Cats. 2 weeks ago, Gary Henderson resigned as baseball coach at Kentucky, and you knew Hindu would not be without a job for very long. Henderson, though, here's the cool part. He's heading to Mississippi State to be the pitching coach. Henderson, considered by many the best pitching coach in the country. In Starkville, he will be reunited with John Cohen, whom he succeeded as head coach at UK. While Cohen was in Lexington, Henderson was his pitching coach, helping the Cats to its only SEC title in 2006. Louisiana Tech baseball coach Greg Goff is the leading candidate for the Alabama coaching vacancy. He led La Tech to 42 wins this year, the most wins in a season since 1988, leading the program to its first NCAA tournament appearance since 1987. Now, the local connection here is Goff spent 4 years at Kentucky from 99 to 2003 as, guess what, the pitching coach. Tate's Creek All-State outfielder Jaron Shelby, who committed to play baseball at Kentucky last year, will instead enroll at State College of Florida. That's a JUCO. Shelby hit .378 with 12 homers this year for the Commodores. Shelby's older brothers, John III and Javon, played at UK. One more final baseball note. UK outfielder Zach Rex. He's a finalist for the Greg Olson Award as the Breakout Player of the Year in college baseball. Rex played at the Air Force Academy as a freshman in 2013. He hit .210 with no homers. He transfers to UK, doesn't play for 2 years, and then he goes off this season, batting .331 with 7 homers and 22 RBI. Down the stretch, Rex hit 6 homers in the final 15 games. Glad to have him back next year. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.